Sup y'all, welcome back to the 7th Tomar Emerald. I'm your host, Leg Pain. Do you think you're insignificant? Well, that may be true, and you need to face your own demons on your own time, but I can tell you one thing, you're not alone. Jesus Christ, this sounds like a Viagra commercial. It's extremely easy for a human being to feel insignificant. This can range from fucking, I don't know, John Jackoff Smith down the road got the promotion and you didn't, making you feel insignificant. Or you could think on the grand stage of the universe that you're insignificant. For example, about to pull some fucking science on your ass. If the average person, from standing up with their arms out, is like 6.5 feet or so, 162 people stacked on top of each other reach the height of the Eiffel Tower, which is 1,063 feet high. Hang on, I'm going somewhere with this. And to equate the size of the Earth being 7,926 miles, you would need over 4,000 Eiffel Towers to reach that size. That's about 648,000 people tall. And if our sun can fit 1.3 million Earths, and our sun is the size of a grain of sand in the Milky Way, and the Milky Way would require a microscope to see compared to the billions of universe that exist, I bet you don't feel so bad about getting that D in that pre-algebra test, right? This is still a music channel, guys. My point is, humans are insignificant. And the feeling of being insignificant can give people two feelings, either hopelessness or relaxation. And I think I've stumbled across the perfect duality of both these feelings when shown insignificance, a rabbit hole that you'll have to see to believe. A part 2, if you will, to my last video of 2020, if you will remember. I present to you Watermusic by William Basinski. So, William Basinski, you crazy bastard, welcome back to the channel. Bet y'all thought I was done with this fin and do, after I covered the disintegration loops back in December. Well, this has been planned meticulously. I'm smart, I promise. Now, my channel's slogan is, it came from YouTube recommended. It's a slogan that I just made up that any loyal fan will know. And lo and behold, I was given this video for William Basinski's album, Watermusic 2. The first Watermusic was released in 2002 before the disintegration loops would be released to the public. But we aren't going to focus on the first Watermusic, we're going to take a look at its sequel that got pooped done to my YouTube recommended, Watermusic 2. Watermusic 2 would be released a year after the first of the disintegration loops would be released. The cover to Watermusic is, in a word, disappointing. Knowing the backstory to the disintegration loops cover, I was expecting something a bit more substantive. I mean, it might have influenced Kanye West's Yeezus album cover, but jury's out on that one. The Bandcamp description gives us our own written description of the record. However, this is blank for Watermusic 2, but this is what Watermusic 1 reads. A 1-hour track entirely comprised on a Voyager synthesizer. Watermusic is the perfect antidote to the saccharine-drenched ambient cakes released nowadays by hundreds of self-producing wannabes. I feel attacked personally. It's never too present low humming melody, caressing the brain and ears and slowly developing from silence. So I felt it was only a natural progression for a mammoth track like this to appear in my YouTube recommended section. And it did, aptly titled William Basinski, Watermusic 2. The video was uploaded on July 8th, 2013, almost 10 years after the initial release date. And it's sitting at a very respectable 3.5 million views. Uploaded by the channel, oh boy. This, and the image used in the video is not the same cover as used by Basinski, but it is a fantastic photo, perfectly describing how this music sounds. A photo by Susanna Majuri, being the only thing in description besides a link to Basinski's work is a link to Majuri's work as well. And unfortunately, Majuri passed away on March 5th, 2020, and with me recording this, a few days shy of it being 1 year ago. This image is so beautiful, and all of her other work is equally as beautiful. I used one of her photos in the thumbnail of this video, actually, so support her work. I'll give her a link to her website in the description, because we lost a beautiful artist. Rest in peace. But the YouTube algorithm is so fascinating seeing what it decides to give a second life to. I think this pick was spot on. I have to admit, it's not much, but the meat and potatoes that we have here give a substantial meal. It's a low bass rumble and high semi-arpeggiated melody on top of these cascading synthesizers that sound, oh big surprise, underwater. A great thing about this music being given second life on YouTube is you get the comment section, a direct line to the thoughts people have while hearing the music that you're listening to. And after reading through the comments, you get two main camps after dissecting Watermusic. Either this is very relaxing and ethereal sounding, or this is anxiety inducing and eerie. I seem to fall somewhere in the middle. I've been trying to wrap my noodle around why I can experience both joy and fear from this music, and I think I finally found a solution why people can fear Watermusic. And lucky for you, it isn't some abstract concept difficult to grasp. It's a word. Well, two words actually. Megalophobia, and to be more specific, thalassophobia. Okay, Jake, you're throwing around a lot of big words. Let's cool your jets, cowboy. Let's start with what the fuck is megalophobia. Oh boy, are you going to regret asking. Megalophobia is defined as the fear of large objects. Now that alone might seem like a bitchy phobia, but we aren't talking about like a comically large spoon. I'm talking about shit like this, and this, and this. Must I go on? But this is a feeling that I bet everyone experiences. This is the fear from something just otherworldly big. And something that ties together extremely well with this phobia is the unofficial sister phobia, thalassophobia, aka the fear of deep water. Again, sounds bitchy at first, but again, we aren't talking about your local swimming pool. I'm talking about shit like this, and this. It's larger than life fear. With both these phobias, there's no inherent danger here. Nothing pops out at you as this will harm me. It's what you don't see. It's the question, what if it moves? Or what if something comes out of it? It's related to the music because of the people who have an inherent anxiety when listening to water music. These two phobias are undoubtedly scratching at the back of their heads. And this is a topic I've been wanting to discuss further, but I needed the perfect record to weave into the science behind human emotion. So even if I'm making a mountain out of a molehill, at least it's an entertaining molehill. I'd like to give a few examples of these phobias if images weren't enough. A great way to experience these phobias are through video games, since you're in control of the character and you get brought into the shoes closest that you can feel first-hand experience with these. We'll start with an example of megalophobia, that being Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. Souls games are a perfect example of megalophobia because you fight these otherworldly bosses, and if you had to choose one boss that perfectly fits my narrative, is the giant serpent boss fight. Jesus Christ, look at that thing. Now that's fucking terrifying, and the comment section agrees with me. This is the perfect example of megalophobia because you, sitting there in your little gamer chair or bed or toilet or, I don't know how big a snake is. It's maybe the size of your wingspan, worst case, or big enough to fit through your drain. Shout out to my toilet watchers. But it becomes scary when you realize you are literally the size of the snake's tongue. It's terrifying, and if you're too much of an alpha Chad to admit that, we know you're lying, so just come on, it's safe here. On the other hand, an example of phasmophobia that I can think fits very well is Subnautica. Yes, I know, Solar Sands talked about this, but me and Solar Sands have a history. We're cool. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, the MO of this game is weighing through unknown, extremely deep waters with who the fuck knows below you. At a first glance, people see Subnautica as this relaxing water-building simulator, but when you play it, you see the deep depths below you, and it's no longer a fear of if something is below you. It's what's below you. Finally, I'd like to bring to your attention the perfect combination of both phobias. A little-known cult classic by the name of Shadows of the Colossus. Come on, I'm making a video about megalophobia, and you think I wasn't going to bring this up? Shadows of the Colossus is a cult classic game where you're tasked with killing a unique colossi in order to save your lover. A fantastic game with even better lore and even better art. It's honestly beautiful. I go down rabbit holes at least like once a month watching people describe the lore and secrets of this game. I don't know, play it. That's all I have to say. But this game is a perfect combination of the two phobias. It's a specific Colossus that if you played the game, you'll know what I'm about to say. It goes by the name of Hydrus. The boss fight takes place inside an extremely deep, murky body of water, and you need to go underwater with it to kill it. Holy shit, the anxiety washing over one's body is almost too much to bear in my opinion. But if you weren't a believer in the validity of this phobia, welcome to the big boys club. Water music is the ideal duality of the human mind. Some experience fear as a result of the deep bass tones and the terrifyingly murky water atmosphere, while some experience the tranquil relaxation of weightlessness. I feel that the uploader of this video, I presume unintentionally, found an image that captures this duality almost perfectly. Some see a woman floating next to an underwater house, very tranquil, and on the other hand, people see this house and think, how far away are we from that? Are we right next to it, or are we the size of the keyhole? And the murky green water we're swimming in could hold so many more secrets the further down we swim. Everything about this upload perfectly signifies how people perceive fear, and who better to be the catalyst than William Basinski? The disintegration loops have been widely regarded as the most important ambient release of all time, capturing life and death in audio. Basinski possibly unintentionally captures a similar duality, fear and comfort. We as humans, when faced with our own significance and mortality, either find relaxation in the bright, high melodies, knowing that we can just cruise through life on autopilot because nothing really matters, or you find the fear of sinking with the deep bass tones to the bottom of something larger than life, something much larger than you could ever be, something so large you wonder if or what waits for you at the bottom. Okay, let's relax now. I'm sorry if I triggered any existential crises, but that's what music is. It's like a Mad Lib script. You fill in the details about it. Some choice advice from your good old pal Jake. When I start thinking like this, I just realized life isn't that serious. I put on some funny Vine compilations or some text-to-speech Reddit stories, and just remember, worrying won't do you any good. Easier said than done, I know. And even though it's far past New Year's, we're in late March, I think, by the time I make this, make 2020 the year that you try to put my advice into use, just a little bit, and see how it works out for you. Thank you for watching. I mad appreciate it. This is me getting back to the basics, some scary shit. I don't know if scary shit, some people might find it not as scary, but we'll see. I'm curious how this is, because this is like a nice little dissection video of a science topic that I thought was very interesting. And speaking of science teachers, this is my teacher's favorite part of the portion of the essay where I cite my sources. Shout out to Life Noggin for the video How Small Are You Compared to the Galaxy, for giving me the beginning anecdote for the start of the video to accentuate my point. Shout out to the actual upload of the music itself and William Basinski and Susanna Majuri, respectively. Shout out to the secret keys I needed to finish this video being Megalophobia in Video Games by DanSan, a great video boosting my point about Shadow of the Colossus' importance in megalophobia, and the video titled Phasmophobia by Solar Sands. Look at my man, back at it again in the video. But thank you for watching. I'm gonna try and not do the long ass outro, so I'm gonna say this. Ladies and gentlemen, Superjail is live, out now everywhere, literally years in the making. Fine-tuning this project, so link in the description. I would really appreciate it if you checked it out, and for the people who have and enjoyed it, thank you. It really means a lot to me that you enjoy the content that I make, especially the music that I make, because it's just such a personal thing. Check out the Big Fish podcast on major services. I am working to remake the Big Fish podcast in a different image. It's a bit difficult. I'm trying to make it more like the Schmucks podcast with Psychic Pebbles, where it's not going to be that long between updates, but I'm going to upload when I want to, when I can. I'm going to try not to do every Wednesday because I already have a weekly podcast, the Good Enough podcast, every Monday with the homie Jackson Burns and Luke on Demand. Check that shit out. Check out my Patreon. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Everything I said will be linked in the description, but yeah, that's about it. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And as long as you listen to Watermusic and enjoy fine art the way you want to fucking enjoy it, then you're good to go. So thank you again for watching. I appreciate it, and have a pleasant day.